Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death was a very, very scary night in my household.
And at the end of the day, men will never have to go through an abortion.
With all the talk of Amy Coney Barrett overturning Roe v. Wade, if that happens, he would be considered the most pro-life president probably in American history.
She was like, I can't give this child the life that it deserves, but I want it to still grow up and have a life.
They didn't let President Obama nominate somebody during the election season.
With the November election currently underway, abortion was a topic that especially resurfaced on the minds of voters with the recent death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Senate confirmation and swearing in of Amy Coney Barrett on October 26th. In the third edition of UT Voices, we spoke with UT students from different backgrounds and experiences about their opinions on abortion and how it influenced what presidential candidate they ultimately voted for.
I'm pro-choice. Whether it's a man or a woman trying to tell another woman what to do with their body, I feel like it's just not their place.
I'm personally not for abortions for myself. However, I don't think that it's necessarily fair to take that away from other people completely. I also believe that it should be way more restricted than it is.
I'm pro-choice. I think it's important that everyone gets to make their own decisions about their bodies. So regardless of what your personal beliefs are, I don't think it's fair to put your beliefs on someone else.
I'm going to vote generically pro-life, but that just, like I said, it doesn't mean that I'm going to start saying, oh, you can never have an abortion ever. That's too far.
I mean, I'm definitely pro-choice. Like, who am I as a guy to try and tell a woman what she can do with her body?
I definitely do think that men should be part of this conversation. Say, obviously a man and woman, she gets pregnant, he's still the father of that child. And I believe that he still does kind of have a decision in it because it's 50% his, even though it's inside of the female.
If you look at the group of people deciding, like in the political realm, half of the time it's men. But I personally feel like the reason why men shouldn't be involved in the conversation is because they're not the ones who would have to go through the pain of carrying a child for 9 months. I would definitely feel more comfortable having someone abort a child instead of bringing them into an environment that's not fitting for a child. A lot of people bring up adoption as an alternative choice, but that system isn't very, suitable for a lot of children either.
Making the foster care system better so that more women are willing to have the child and give it up for adoption, because my mom's adopted. My extended family is full of adopted children, and we've all been fortunate to meet the biological families and learn why they were given up for adoption. And my mom's biological mom, she was like, I can't give this child the life that it deserves, but I want it to still grow up and have a life.
And the thing about abortion rights in America is that abortion rights are still highly segregated by class, by race, by location. It's not that abortion won't be accessible to rich women. It's not that abortion won't be acceptable to most white women. It's that the most vulnerable among us will once again not have access to their own bodies.
I don't fully support Planned Parenthood in what it was founded on by Margaret Sanger. I mean, she founded it for the purpose of eliminate what she believed to be inferior races, and it was built based on eugenic ethics.
I think people get so caught up and think, okay, Planned Parenthood, abortion. But for me, I'm also like, okay, Planned Parenthood provides so many other resources, specifically to economically disadvantaged communities and BIPOC community members as a whole.
A lot of people are single issue voters, especially evangelicals in America. They vote against abortion, and they don't vote for social programs that would prevent abortions. They don't vote for social programs that would lift people out of poverty or allow people to have children. And this administration has harped on that.
No matter where you are on the political spectrum, the magnitude of impact that Ruth Bader Ginsburg had, not just on the Supreme Court of the United States, but also on how women can be seen in the legal profession is immense. While I disagree with her on virtually every ruling she's made, I still have respect for her. But when it comes to, if we're talking about, I guess, the overturning of Roe v. Wade and specifics here, I think Amy Coney Barrett is a good justice. The idea that she's going to be the reason we overturn Roe v. Wade, I'm not totally sure that's true.
I hope that RBG's death will kind of inspire us to continue her work and continue on her legacy, because she had a lot of great policies, and the direction she was going in for women's rights was great. But part of me wants to say that the future of women's rights is threatened in a sense, just because I don't know the direction that people will be going in.
I hope with all my heart that the new Supreme Court Justice will do just as much to uphold the rights of women, because she herself is familiar with the plight of being a woman. But unfortunately, her record does not inspire that much confidence in me.
A Supreme Court judge has never been confirmed this close to the date of an election, which makes it a little tricky because this is going to be a very, very big election.
They didn't let President Obama nominate somebody during the election season, right? Moving forward when it was 2016. But they didn't use that precedent that was set this year because it fits their agenda much more, which I think just displays how partisan our country is right now.
You know, he's a very pro-life candidate. With all the talk of Amy Coney Barrett overturning Roe v. Wade, if that happens, he would be considered the most pro-life president probably in American history, which is a pretty big accomplishment.
I don't like the way that the current administration is handling the whole topic of abortion, because I feel like it's mainly men speaking on it. I also feel like the way that he's just talked about women in general is just very inappropriate and like objective and degrading. So I feel like that is also not okay. It would be inappropriate coming from anybody, but especially in such a high position of authority.
Joe Biden has shown that he does take into account the voices at the table in regards to the issues that he's trying to solve. I don't think that he would do anything that could further hurt the status of women's rights and women's autonomy in this country.
I think this administration is upholding my beliefs to this mostly in the fact that they are trying to keep it limited on when abortions can happen, and also dealing with the government funding for it. The Trump administration could do a much better job with providing contraceptives to everyone.
With RBG's death, things absolutely can get worse, things can get more dangerous, and we have to fight for the bare minimum in this country. And if that means electing Joe Biden and protesting against him every single day, if it means fighting to repeal the Hyde Amendment, if it means fighting for funding for Planned Parenthood, for better access to abortion care in the South or other areas that don't necessarily have it, then that's what we'll do. But we need a starting ground.